Let's speak now to Gift of the Givers founder and director, Dr Imtiaz Sooliman. And of course, they are on the ground as Gift of the Givers. They've been asked to assist. Thank you so much for your time, Dr Sooliman. Can you tell us what the situation is like on the ground? I see you are there.
Good afternoon, Bongiwe. The problem is the situation changes every hour. The fires were first in Seaview, parts of Baywest, and then Beachview. We thought those fires were brought under control, and then for the firefighters, and then the winds became stronger, and the fire became stronger. We brought in the helicopters. They've been working from this morning. In fact, the pilots are exhausted. As the firefighters are exhausted, the pilots are exhausted. And just when they thought Seaview was okay and Beachview was okay, the fire started raging in Baywest. When in that area, of course, it then went on to the N2. The N2 had to be closed. The Baywest Mall, which is a huge mall in the area, also had to be closed. There's the danger of fire getting behind the mall where there's homes and where all the farms are situated. So that caused a lot of anxiety and panic in the area. In terms of the firefighters, speaking to the fire chief, they now need an extra helicopter because the winds are picking up again. And so we have two helicopters, one working along the coast and one working along the N2. But it seems that's not going to be enough. And we're making arrangements to send in a third aircraft to assist them. The other big requirement is additional personnel. The firefighters are tired. They're exhausted. It's a lot of stress. It's long hours. It's hard work. And if they continue the fire, but they can't leave it like that. They need to carry on being in the area. So we are busy with the Cape Town, Western Cape Disaster Management, and hopefully another 30 firefighters will be coming to the area very soon.
And does it look like it's going to be soon enough for them to be able to get that much needed rest? Because one understands how grueling this mission has been.
Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be soon enough. There's a challenge of flights from Cape Town to PE, to Gqeberha. And secondly, there's a lot of legal issues involved in sending firefighters from one city to another in terms of risk, indemnity, liability. All those legal things have to be sorted out, which by far and large have been sorted out. It's just a matter of now finalizing some paperwork and putting them on the flight, or if there's no flight, to drive down all that distance. If it's a drive, it's going to take longer, but at least we'll have fresh hands to assist in the best way possible.
And let's talk about some of, the necessities, including water, to be able to assist them as well. Is that available?
Yes, we've drilled 45 boreholes in the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro since we came in June to assist for day zero. Some of our bores got huge capacity, up to 70,000 liters per hour. In the St. Albert's area, where the fire is quite big, we have huge boreholes in that area. So we don't have a problem in terms of accessing water from the ground. We have our own boreholes, which we've drilled there. In addition, to support the fire trucks have a problem. They can't access certain areas. That's why we need helicopters. And when they get to certain areas, the water gets finished. And for them to reload the water takes a long time because it's quite a distance. So we're shedding the work. We're telling them, you wait on site. Our trucks will fill the water from our bowls and bring it back to you. So that's what we're doing exactly right now. Our trucks fill water from our bowls, bring it to the fire tankers, fill them, and they go and do the firefighting. And even the firefighting, they've been careful about how they do it. They wait for the water to come, fire to come close to the homes, and then douse the fire because they run out of water, and that's another challenge.
Sure. And when we talk about the homes, reading some of the reports coming from there, it sounds like some of the houses may have, caught some fire and people had to be evacuated. Have there been any more evacuations where you are, or from your team members maybe letting you know?
Well, the one house got burnt from what we know. Last night, our team members had to call in disaster management and the SAPS and the councillors to say we need to evacuate. And even the firefighters said that we had to evacuate the people from the Seaview informal settlement. Close to 2,000 people had to be moved. Fortunately, for the first time, the inhabitants themselves came outside and said, we can't stay here. It's very dangerous. And normally they would never want to move because they're scared of losing their positions and their spot on the site. So fortunately, they were very cooperative, came out last night and were desperate to be moved. A community hall was set up. We had pre-prepared, we were ready in advance for this. We had blankets and mattresses. We had hot meals prepared for them. We had diapers for the physically challenged. We moved them first. We brought in food items to assist them. So they've been well taken care of last night and the rest of today and for the next few days. But we had to do something more than that. The fire chief, when he called, We said, first of all, I don't have enough firefighters. Secondly, we have the issue with the water trucks. Thirdly, we have the problem with accessibility. Fourthly, we need the helicopter. And fifthly, we need support for the firefighters, which we did. We brought them enough energy bars, energy drinks, water, biscuits, hygiene for their eyes, and gave them full support, which made them very, very happy. And in addition, we've received 84 pallets, which is 12,000 by 5-liter bottled water from Seribos that made it available to us. So we're fortunate for that. But the biggest way to combat this fire, and then to have us closed, it's open again, but the chances it will close again. And that's going to be the problem. And for that, we need to put in an additional helicopter and bring in the other firefighters.
Yeah, and there have been calls, you know, for people not to start any open fire. Are they heeding these calls?
I can't see anybody starting open fires. You can't get to the areas. How are you going to get to those areas? You know, I don't think that's going to happen. So many areas, there's just about 12 fires raging in the area. Sure. So nobody's going to take that chance to go into an open field and start a fire. I don't think that's going to happen. You know, people are scared, you know, because they don't know how far the fire will go. Will it reach their homes? Will it reach other parts? I mean, you know, it's so that people are, in fact, there's only messages of thanks and support coming in, people caring for each other, and people will take the precautions. The problem is there's a water crisis in the city. You know, there has been for quite some time. And that challenge, so on the one side, you need to put fire out. On the other side, you need to have water for normal usage. And it doesn't always come through. So they've got additional challenges in that city. But the residents have been resilient. And hopefully, within the next day or two, with additional support, we may be able to bring this fire under control. Hopefully, the wind will settle. That is the biggest problem. If the wind settles, we can make great headway.
And definitely, you know, lots of hopes around the wind settling to be able to ease the situation somewhat. Dr. Sooliman, I'm not sure where you are standing and if there's any possibility at all to show us where you are and what you are seeing.
No, I'm not there in Gqeberha. I'm in Cape Town at the moment.
Okay.
My teams are there. I'll be there tomorrow. I'm not there at the moment. Yeah.
Okay, no, thank you so much for your time. Do appreciate that. And certainly one hopes that, you know, as you say, that an extra helicopter is needed, firefighters are needed. One certainly hopes that those calls are heeded soon enough, as you say, so everybody is able to be assisted.
That the helicopter that can deliver 2.5 times the amount than existing helicopters, much more easier to use, can drop much more water and work much faster. We are trying to access that helicopter, which will make a huge difference to the area.
Definitely, definitely. And I hope that those calls are heeded soon enough. So also your team, as well as the firefighters, also are able to get this much needed assistance. And the situation, as you say, is really worrying with the fires and with the wind now making things a whole lot more difficult. That was Dr. Imtiaz Sooliman, who's with the Gift of the Givers.